Welcome to the Word of the Week. This weekly word is inspired by the Word of God. It's a 5-minute broadcast that will inspire, motivate, and introduce you to the Word of God by relating everyday words to scriptures. I'm your host, Oreen Newton, and the thoughts I share are based on my spiritual journey and life's lessons. Let's get started. The Word of the Week for May 8th, 2022 is debt. D-E-B-T, debt. Debt is anything owed by one person to another. The scriptures will be from Proverbs 22nd chapter, 7th verse. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. And from Mark chapter 4, verse 19. But the cares of the world and the deceitfulness of riches and the desires for other things enter in and choke the word, and it proves unfruitful. Now, I'm not an economist or an expert on how to manage money or cure debt, but it does not take a financial expert to see that the economy of this country and the average American household is in dire need of attention. We are a nation in critical financial trouble. For the first time in American history, the national debt in February of this year topped $30 trillion. Now, to compare billions to billions, the national debt is $30,000 billion compared to a national debt of only $427 billion when I graduated high school in 1972. This is mind-blowing. As a nation, we've become enslaved to debt. Our local governments, our churches, our citizens have come under the rule of our new slave masters. Our captors to whom we owe our mortgage and our lives have names like J.P. Morgan Chase, U.S. Bank, Bank of America, Capital One, and others of the lending establishment. The field bosses that keep us in line for the masters are those responsible for interpreting the grades related to the 3 C's of credit: character, capital, and capacity. You probably know them as Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. As an individual, if we do not qualify within the requirements of these institutions, our individual ability to buy goods and services is severely limited. These limitations put us in jeopardy of falling below the poverty level where cash is as limited as the access to opportunities to improve our plight. Greed and the desire to have more because we can pay for it sometime in the future has infected our society from the White House to the church house. Even our former president owes his Russian master for loans that are scheduled to come due in time for the next election. Surely that will not affect his political loyalties, right? Isn't it interesting that while China, which is primarily an atheist nation, has reduced its poverty level to 0.6% of its population, while the Christian-professing United States now sits at a poverty level of 14% of its population? What has happened to the shining city sitting on a hill? In the past, when we held our Christian values, the only debt that the average family owed was for the mortgage and perhaps a car note. We would sacrifice until we could afford more than the necessities. We paid our debts. Failure to do so was a stain on our character, whether on a national report or not. Again, I am not an economist, but even a fool can see that this hole is only getting deeper and deeper. It is unsustainable. I can only pray for God to help us to rectify the situation. Sin is an archery term that indicates missing the target. If eliminating debt was a target, we must admit we are all missing it. Jesus died to set us free from sin and death. But at the level of debt we're in this country, I do not know if Jesus has enough lives to give to save us. God bless you. Oreen out. We hope you enjoyed the Word of the Week, and if it's been of inspiration to you, please feel free to go to www.wow-newton.com to the website that you can refer others to listen to, or you can sign up for the Word of the Week subscription. God bless you and may God keep you.